Welcome to Reds Focus LFC fans. Today
Arne
we bring...
Slot delivers a huge injury update as Liverpool receive a double boost ahead of Tottenham. Get the latest on Szoboszlai, Salah, Curtis Jones and more. Subscribe now for daily Liverpool news and never miss an update. Liverpool boss Arne Slot shares Dominik Szoboszlai injury update as double boost. Confirmed Liverpool boss Arne Slot has provided injury updates on Dominik Szoboszlai, Joe Gomez, Jeremy Frimpong and Cody Gakpo. Liverpool boss Arne Slot has confirmed that Dominik Szoboszlai should be fit for Saturday's showdown at Tottenham Hotspur, and the Reds will also be boosted by the availability of two right backs and the fact that Cody Gakpo's injury is not as bad as first feared. Szoboszlai and Joe Gomez both came off injured in last Saturday's 2-0 home win over Brighton and Hove Albion, which extended Liverpool's unbeaten run in all competitions to 5 matches. They will look to make that 6 tomorrow night in North London. And speaking at his press conference this morning, Slot confirmed that while Gomez will be absent, key midfielder Szoboszlai looks set to take his place in a squad and will start if he is completely fit. It is a squad that will include Conor Bradley, who missed out against Brighton through suspension, and fellow right-back Jeremy Frimpong, who has been sidelined since sustaining a muscle injury in the 5-1 Champions League win at Eintracht Frankfurt on October 22nd. But he is now back in full training. That is timely with Gomez, who started at right back against the Seagulls, ruled out of the visit to Spurs. Slot said, Joe is not in the squad as well for the weekend and Dominik trained yesterday, parts of the training session for the first time. So let's see where he is today and how he is tomorrow. Jeremy is in the squad again as well. Asked if Szoboszlai will start, the manager continued, that completely depends on how he does today, so if can fulfill the whole training session, and then you speak to the player and the medical staff. If the player feels comfortable to play, and he did all the things he had to do, then he will start. If he can fulfill the whole session, or he fulfills it, but he doesn't feel comfortable himself, we will have a discussion. But Dom has been a starter for me in the 1.5 years I am here now, and for the performances he's brought in, he would be a starter tomorrow if he is completely fit. Slot also gave an encouraging update on Gakpo, who underwent a scan this week, and while the forward will miss this weekend's game and the home encounter with Wolves on Saturday week, he should be back sooner than expected. Slot said he had a scan that looked promising, so that means that we are not that worried anymore, as we were maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, so that means he might come back a bit earlier than expected 2 weeks ago. But that's definitely not tomorrow and also not next week. There was no update on midfielder Wataru Endo, while defender Giovanni Leoni is out long-term. The clash with Tottenham will be the Reds' first since star forward Mohamed Salah's departure to the Africa Cup of Nations. Arne Slot makes Curtis Jones' claim and sets challenge for Liverpool. Star Curtis Jones has been in excellent form for Liverpool lately, with Arne Slot challenging his number 17 to continue that run and ensure that he continues to be unrepairable. Liverpool head coach Arne Slot has challenged Curtis Jones to build on his excellent recent form, claiming that this is the best period for the midfielder since he took over from Jurgen Klopp. Jones has performed very well in games against Inter Milan and Brighton in recent weeks and is expected to keep his place for the trip to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this weekend. He's done really well in the last 3 games. Slot said during his pre-match press conference, I think that is not the first time, but maybe since I am here, it is the first time. It is 3 times in a row. He brings very good performances. He has brought in the past very good performances in the past, but maybe I didn't like them as much as I did now recently. So it is a challenge for him to go to 4th, 5th or 6th game in a row. I am not the only one who liked the way he played, with so much confidence, so much work rate, giving it all in every single moment for the team, and really comfortable on the ball as well. The last 3 performances are the base where we expect him to go on, and that starts tomorrow against a challenging opponent in Spurs. With a more packed midfield, Liverpool has stopped losing matches. Jones has played well and has seemingly gotten the best out of Florian Wirtz and others around him. Arne Slot changed the system from midweek, went back to the 4-3-2-1, and the way Brighton play suited Liverpool. Danny Murphy said on Match of the Day last weekend, I thought Curtis Jones stood out. And it was another good performance from Wirtz. I think what I took from today and midweek was the importance of Curtis Jones. I thought he was brilliant again, setting the tone without the ball and great with it. I also think Wirtz had another good first half of 60 minutes because he got a bit leggy at the end after taking on Tottenham on Saturday. Liverpool has a free period until December 27th when it hosts the bottom side Wolves. It then has Leeds at Anfield in its first game of 2026.liverpool.com says, Jones has been really good lately, but Slot is right. For fitness reasons, mainly, he has been held back in the past. This time, he needs to ensure that he keeps playing at least as well as he is now, because he is clearly capable. Liverpool news, Mohamed Salah could make early return as January transfer blow reveal. Liverpool travel to face Tottenham on Saturday evening in the Premier League but will be without Mohamed Salah, who has jetted off to the Africa Cup of Nations. Liverpool will look to string consecutive Premier League wins together when they face Tottenham on Saturday. Arne Slot's men currently sit 7th in the table after beating Brighton last time out. The Reds began this season looking like bona fide contenders but slumped to loss after loss, sending their title defence off the rails. The situation surrounding Mohamed Salah hasn't helped. Proceedings after he claimed to feel thrown under the bus over decreased playing time. Slot's side will be aiming to climb the table with victory in North London. But the outspoken Salah will not be present as he's linked up with Egypt ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations. Despite his country being one of the competition's frontrunners, a new prediction doesn't bode well. Mirror Football brings you all the latest updates from Anfield, including a January transfer blow and a former Liverpool ace making a loan move. Salah predicted to make early AFCON. Exit Egypt as 7-time AFCON winners and hold a strong hand this year, led by Salah, but a new supercomputer prediction has them heading home early. Salah's country are preparing for matches against Zimbabwe, South Africa and Angola, and a prediction made by bookmakers Camero.com has them progressing in this group, but it is in the round of 16 where they believe Egypt will slip up. The supercomputer predicts that they'll be dumped out by Comoros in a shock 1-0 defeat at this stage. Last 16 matches at the competition take place between January 3rd and January 6th. Liverpool play Arsenal on January 8th, so this may come too soon for Salah if he does exit the tournament. He could be available for the FA Cup clash against Barnsley on January 12th though. If this prediction comes true, Guéhi transfer blow. Crystal Palace defender Mark Guéhi was close to becoming a Liverpool player in the summer before a £35 million deal collapsed. The Reds are expected to return for the Englishman at some point, but an admission made by Guéhi's manager indicates this may not be in January, having retained his club captain in the summer. Palace manager Oliver Glasner claims that the 25-year-old will remain at Selhurst Park until the end of the season. I think Mark will stay until the end of the season, said Glasner, speaking before his side's Europa Conference League encounter against Finnish side Kuopion Palloseura. Liverpool only made their summer move for Guéhi after the Community Shield match against Palace in August. Chairman Steve Parish recently indicated that the Reds could have succeeded in signing the defender if they had started negotiations sooner. Ex-Red star makes plea own. Star who exited Anfield over the summer was Harvey Elliott. The 22-year-old left for Aston Villa on loan in September in a deal that reportedly includes a £35 million obligation to buy should he make 10 appearances. But the midfielder rarely plays. This lack of game time has led former Red Don Hutchison to urge the club to recall Elliott. He told Oddsboom, "If you're Liverpool, you're probably best off bringing him back and keeping him in the squad. They only had a short number on the bench at the weekend, and probably that's why Mo Salah was a little bit fortunate that he made the bench because, Cody Gakpo was injured, Wadaru Endo was injured, and Conor Bradley was suspended. So I think it'll be a good move from Liverpool to bring him back. But it's bizarre how he's not got any game time over at Villa." Liverpool preparing for the return of special midfielder. A record-breaking midfielder will soon return for Liverpool. According to a reliable journalist, it's not been the easiest period for the club. That is, to put it mildly. Liverpool may have had an exciting summer from the outside perspective, but the tragedy that befell the Reds, with the passing of Diogo Jota and his brother, cast a gloomy shadow over everything. Losing Jota and his brother has impacted everyone at Liverpool very deeply. On top of that, the new players coming in made everything very turbulent at Anfield. All of this is going to make Arne Slot's life even more difficult. Then injuries started to pile up, which has meant he's not been able to play in the way he probably would have liked to have set up this new-look Liverpool team with the new stars at his disposal everywhere in the squad. There is a shortage of depth in the team. It's something Liverpool are going to have to address in the market, but they are also going to be boosted by the return of a special record-breaking midfielder. Speaking on the Daily Mail's YouTube channel, Lewis Steele revealed that Stefan Bajcetic has been back, training on the grass at the AXA training centre back, and that he's expected to be returning to full fitness soon. The journalist also confirmed that the plan is for Bajcetic to play some U21 games before he comes into the fold for the first team, and that Liverpool ultimately expect him to return being the same level as he was back in that 2022-23 season when he broke out into the senior team. Then Bajcetic became the youngest midfielder to score a goal for Liverpool in the Premier League at just 18 years and 2 months old, when he netted against Aston Villa, breaking Jamie Redknapp's previous record. He's the 4th youngest to score for Liverpool in the competition overall, behind only Michael Owen, Raheem Sterling and Ion Numaha. Many people forget just how impressive Bajcetic was during those first few months while he was breaking into the team. People also forget how good he was in La Liga for Las Palmas, where he really caught the eye. Obviously, he has had terrible luck with injuries, but he's still only 21 years old, and there's plenty of time for him to get his career back on track. Liverpool clearly still have high hopes for him, and they will trust that the treatment he is getting and the way they are taking his recovery very slowly will ensure he doesn't suffer any further injuries. Playing for the U21s will also be a key part of that plan, but in the long term, it looks like Liverpool are preparing for Bajcetic to return to the first team and become part of Slot's squad. That's an exciting development, and something that could be a huge boost for the club. Szoboszlai, Gakpo, Gomez. Latest Liverpool injury news ahead of Tottenham. Arne Slot has given updates on Liverpool's current injury list as the club prepare for a trip to North London on Saturday, where they will face Tottenham Hotspur. Arne Slot has spoken to the media ahead of Liverpool's trip to Tottenham Hotspur on Saturday. The Reds boss has been dealing with a series of injuries this season, with stars like Cody Gakpo, Jeremy Frimpong, and Joe Gomez recently sidelined. Now, Slot has been handed another injury scare as questions arise regarding the fitness of star midfielder Dominik Szoboszlai. The Hungarian international has been one of Liverpool's standout performers. During a difficult spell for the club, the Reds' clash against Tottenham will also be their first match without Mohamed Salah available for selection. The 33-year-old is away on international duty with Egypt at the Africa Cup of Nations and is not expected to return until late January. A win this weekend could lift Liverpool into the Premier League top 4 if results elsewhere also go their way. After spending part of the season in the bottom half of the table, such a result would be a welcome boost for Slot and the Anfield faithful. Dominik Szoboszlai. Were significant fears within the Liverpool camp after Dominik Szoboszlai was forced off against Brighton with an apparent ankle injury. At the time, Slot admitted it didn't look great, but after a week of rest, it appears the 25-year-old could be available for the Spurs game, though his inclusion is not yet guaranteed. Arne Slot said on December 19th, Szoboszlai trained yesterday. So let's see how he is today. It depends how he does today. He can fill the whole session and you speak to the player and staff and feels comfortable, then he will start. If not, he doesn't feel comfortable, then he won't. He will start if he is totally fit. Potential return, December 20th vs. Spurs. Cody Gakpo, Dutch international, was another significant loss for Slot this season. Gakpo missed matches against Inter Milan and Brighton due to a muscle injury after a prolific start to the campaign, having recorded 7 goal contributions in the Premier League so far. He has been a mainstay in the starting lineup. Fortunately, his injury does not appear to be as severe as first feared. Arne Slot said on December 19th, Gakpo had a scan that looks promising, so we're not that worried anymore that we were a few weeks ago. He will come back early, but not tomorrow or next week. Potential return, early January 2026. Joe Gomez played just 26 minutes against Brighton before being substituted with a muscle injury. The Englishman had recently begun to feature more regularly as Slot searched for solutions to Liverpool's defensive issues, despite his early exit last weekend. Gomez had already made his mark by assisting Hugo Ekitike's opening goal within the first minute of play at Anfield. However, it appears unlikely he will be available to replicate that impact this weekend. Arne Slot said on December 19th, Gomez not in the squad, potential return unknown.